we are only architects and we try to find our vision in the way how we maybe make architecture or how we are here. Yeah, we cannot solve everything, but I think in architecture, of course, we are the ones who need to propose some new solutions and propose some alternatives. And of course, there's the question, how can we maybe come to a more specific approach to architecture? And I think for this, we need to try experimenting again or try finding our own ways of producing building materials or architecture. Yeah, the first intention maybe was triggered by very typical, let's say, fascination. What we have when you've never been to Japan, you have certain images and certain expectations. And last October, for example, I went there with Jan Lindenberg, who's also here, my neighbor in Gerswalde, to do a small study trip to the rural part of Japan and to find similar villages like Gerswalde, and also to try to look if the situation here in this particular place of Germany is a kind of specific case or if there are similar tendencies and similar developments in other places around in a global level. I think the question of the regional architecture, maybe then we need to discuss the term of architecture, what the role of an architect is. Because for me, being an architect in the countryside or in a village also means that we look at different levels of kind of involvement. So we are not only taking care about building, but we are also involved in politics, or we are involved in producing space. And let's say an architecture project is one format. It's nice as an architect, you communicate with the municipality, with the kind of planners, you communicate with the craftsmen, with the neighbors. So through the profession, you already have a width of communication on different levels. And I think this is a really good starting point. I mean, I think what is important that the countryside or villages develop their own narrative. The city is very good in describing itself and finding narrations about the city, but the countryside now is often portrayed or often narrated by the city. Development would be good, which kind of brings also people here, which start a certain narration on the countryside, being in the countryside and making this description about this place while being here. Especially I think now during the climate crisis or the Corona situation is that people feel again that maybe the countryside can bring this alternative again. We are now here with our summer office. We also try to establish a kind of new way of work, but also, for example, doing an internship. And this would then incorporate, of course, not only architectural projects, but also to learn about permaculture, to learn at the local metal worker or at the local print shop. I think there is more to learn at other disciplines, which of course then can come back to your own practice. Now in the CCA there is a new exhibition in autumn, and the theme where this exhibition is in is called With and Within. And I really like this kind of description of this theme. We do the projects together with people, so we do always things with something, with the context, with the clients, with people, with material, but we are also within something. So we are not standing outside, let's say, looking at the construction site, but we are within this process. So, yes, I'm I'm too young to give these wisdoms. And yes, but ask me again in 30 years.